Hello, welcome back to my channel. Jacob here, and today I'm talking about Totem by Ehren M. Ehly, the author of Obelisk, a novel of supreme terror. And it does have this really cool cover which folds out and shows that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues with this. One being, one being that I don't think, I'm pretty sure the author kind of thought that all Native American tribes were the same, but that is neither here nor there as we dive into this wonderful paperbacks from hell. Basically, everything is kicked off when a construction crew finds what appears to be Native American relics and unwittingly unleash a great and terrible evil onto the world. An evil that has been battled for years by a medicine woman by the name of Corinna, who doesn't age and doesn't die, and basically starts having an affair with one of the construction workers who goes by the name of Joe, as he tries to help her to undo this great and terrible evil. It comes out that Corinna, spoiler alert if you're going to read this, Corinna was supposed to be almost like a sacrifice or something. It really doesn't go too much into detail about what was supposed to happen to her, but she was supposed to be like an offering against this great evil. And because she didn't do that, it was forever released in the world where it could be trapped. And over the years, people would find it and it would feed off of them. It uses her paintings to do that at times. And it also uses, these artifacts. It's kind of like a festering evil in which it enters the lives of certain people and then kills them, usually very Final Destination style. I mean, there's not like a bunch of jump scares here. In some cases, people do start rotting or, things like that, which I thought was very cool and pretty interesting. There are very good deaths in this. We also see the fact that, like a lot of, I don't want to say cosmic horror, but I guess it kind of is more of a cosmic horror trope in which when people start to seek out that evil or to try to stop it, that's when it's kind of really able to enter their lives. And we see that on multiple occasions with investigators and other people that try to help Joe and Corinna and wind up getting themselves killed in pretty terrible ways. One of them, I do believe, is Corinna's son, who she doesn't really mourn. She's a very kind of static character, but then again, she's also been alive for a very long time. I won't spoil the ending of this book, mostly because I don't think I truly understood it myself. This book very much jumps around a lot, in which it very much... So it starts off as... Let me get there. It starts off as a bunch of construction workers setting off this curse, and then they start dying. And then about midway through the book, it becomes this great fight between good and evil that goes back hundreds of years. And then there's an immortal medicine woman who somehow is going to stop it. And then instead of like actually trying to stop it, her and Joe just have a whole lot of sex in his like beach house he got cheap and fixed up in Laguna. And so while they're doing that, other people are investigating it, and you get to see their like very brief time on screen, so to speak, because they die pretty quick. And then it goes back to Joe and Corinna, and she's gonna do the thing, and they're gonna stop it, and they go to this cave, and then they kind of stop it, and then Joe just is Joe. But he's like, I think he ages or something. I don't know. I don't really understand. The ending really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Most of the book didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. They introduced a bunch of elements. Like, at one point, the great evil is kind of shown as having its own human servant who was like this guy in the 1800s and killed his entire flock. He was like a preacher, so you kind of think maybe that's going to be a big thing, but it turns out just the cave's important. Even they all start having visions of this guy and seeing this guy, but he's not important. It kind of seems like a lot of ideas were happening, and maybe the author didn't really know which direction she wanted to take them at the time. So they're all just still in there. And it's like a bunch of red herrings, if that makes sense. And what's really not a mystery novel, because once again, you do know that it is like this great evil, and the name changes a couple times. So yeah, it's fun and interesting. It has a beautiful cover. If you're into the paperbacks from hell, pick it up. It definitely fits the genre. It's all over the place. There's a lot of sex. There's gory deaths. A lot of things don't make sense, so you'll reread it thinking they're going to make sense, and they don't make sense, and that's part of the fun, because it is a paperbacks from hell novel, once again. And if anything else, it will look really good sitting on your bookshelf. This is, of course, Totem by Ehren Riley. If you come across a copy, pick it up. Why not? Maybe you'll understand it more than I did, and you can leave a comment below explaining to me how the book ended and what the ending meant. I do have her other book, by the way, too, Obelisk, which I am going to read. And yeah, I'm going to give it a chance and see what's up with that. I do like paperbacks from hell. I obviously have a bunch I've shown off that I bought. But one thing I have noticed with the genre, and especially a lot of 80s and even some early 90s paperback horror novels, is they are kind of all over the place, which does kind of make them fun in a way, in like a very like good B-movie way. And I think this definitely hit that, because it really kind of felt like maybe the publishers were telling her like, hey, we needed a Native American horror novel. You don't have to be Native American. It doesn't have to make any sense. Just put a medicine woman in there and we'll figure out the rest. And that's kind of what this is. So yeah, if you like that, 100% read it. If you think this isn't going to be your cup of tea, pass it, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns about the book, please leave a comment below. As always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.